All right. So guys, super welcome. It's very nice to have you here. Today is Wednesday, September 15th. How nice, guys. We're halfway through. Super welcome, people. Today we are finishing Unit 11. This is the last page of the unit and the last lesson of the unit. And that means we only have one more unit to go. Yes, we just have Unit 12 and then we're done. It's over. How nice, guys. Yes, wide angle 3 is over and done. How do you feel? It's good, isn't it? How nice.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So we just have a few more classes and then we're done. That's it. All right, people. So this final part of Unit 11 is talking about describing people. Oh, but then you can say, Simone, this is super easy. We know that already. Oh, yes, but this lesson will bring us some tips on how we can do that in a more fluent way. Okay, guys? So if you have your books, please open your books to page 134. Let's go there. Oh, that's okay, Giovanna. No problem. I understand. That's okay. No problem. Don't worry. Hi, Paulina. Good evening. Good to see you. Welcome. Welcome. Super welcome. Okay, guys. So if you have your books, please open your books to page 134. Okay, it's really good to have you here. All right, people. So this is where we are. This final page will talk about how we can describe people, and they will focus on a person that you may have heard before, right? Because he's a famous author. His name is Ernest Hemingway. Have you ever heard of this American author? Do you know him?
No.
Ernest Hemingway. No? Haven't you ever heard of Huckleberry Finn? Tom Sawyer? No? Never? Okay. So I hope one day you have a chance to read his books. He was a very good American writer, right? So just to help you get to know a little bit more about Ernest Hemingway before we do the activity, I'd like to share this short video about him because this little text here, this small text, will talk about him, okay? So let's take a look there. All right. Hi, Mateus. Good evening. Good to see you. Okay, so let's take a look at this short video about Ernest Hemingway. Okay, we'll take a look at the story of this man who wrote amazing stories. And he kept the lives of these characters so alive that until today, people remember his stories and his books. Okay. Hi, Mateus. Can you hear us?
Hello. Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
dear. Hello. Good evening. Good to see you.
Thank you.
So,
Good to see you.
yes, we are going to watch a short video about Ernest Hemingway. It's the focus of our lesson today, okay? So we're going to see a little bit about him. I don't know if you have ever read a book by Ernest Hemingway. Have you ever read Huckleberry Finn or Tom Sawyer?
I don't know.
No, you don't remember?
I don't really remember.
Okay. So he was a famous American writer. And he is a very important author from the American literature. Okay, so let's see. I will share this with you because this will help us in our lesson today. Okay, so let's take a look.
Ernest Hemingway wasn't just an immensely talented author. He was also an icon of 20th century bullishness and masculinity, a surprisingly sensitive soul, and one of the most beautiful, awful, and intriguing figures in literary history. Hemingway's life may not have been the longest, but it was filled with drama, driven by ambition, and streaked with blood.
I believe that love that is true and real creates a respite from death. All cowardice comes from not loving or not loving well, which is the same thing.
Wounds from childhood and war. Hemingway's mother was gripped by a desperation to have twin children. In order to feed her fantasies, she often dressed the young Ernest up in clothes identical to his sisters, referring to them both as her sweet Dutch dollies. Just why little Ernestine, as his mother often referred to him, became so obsessed with masculinity is surely no surprise. The outbreak of conflict in Europe during 1914 marked the beginning of Hemingway's first war. He volunteered in France for the Red Cross before becoming an ambulance driver for U.S. forces after their entry into the war in 1917. In July 1918, Hemingway was struck by shrapnel from an Austrian mortar shell while serving in Italy. His experience in Italy would lay the foundations of the plot for his novel, A Farewell to Arms, arguably one of his finest works. The Golden Age of Paris. It's difficult to think of Hemingway without seeing Paris. He was one of the elite group of writers, artists, musicians, and thinkers who lived in the city during its Golden Age, a period masterfully captured in Hemingway's final book, A Movable Feast. Hemingway and his first wife, Hadley Richardson, soon befriended a number of local personalities, such as Gertrude Stein, Ezra Pound, Pablo Picasso, and James Joyce.
You're too self-effacing. It's not manly. If you're a writer, declare yourself the best writer. But you're not as long as I'm around, unless you want to put the gloves on and settle it.
But in 1927, Hemingway's marriage came to an end when Hadley discovered his affair with a fashion reporter named Pauline Pfeiffer. They divorced, and Hemingway married Pfeiffer later that year. In 1928, Ernest and Pauline Hemingway moved to Key West, Florida. Papa Hemingway and his mutant cats. The Hemingway home is one of Florida's most well-known sites and tourist destinations. It was Pauline's Uncle Gus who purchased for them their now legendary house on Whitehead Street. The extraordinarily beautiful house, which was also extraordinarily expensive, is still filled with the Hemingway's own personal touches. These include trophies from foreign expeditions, a writing studio, and a unique breed of six-toed mutant tomcats descended from Hemingway's own pets. The fight against fascism. In 1937, Hemingway traveled to Spain to report on the Spanish Civil War, a devastating conflict between governmental Republicans and Franco's fascists, for the North American Newspaper Alliance. Naturally, he couldn't resist getting involved. Hemingway paid to send ambulances to Spain, produced and narrated a pro-Republican documentary, and is even thought to have fought behind fascist lines. The war put a strain on Hemingway's marriage with Pauline, who was a devout Catholic and a fascist sympathizer. He soon fell in love with the woman who would become his next wife, Martha Gellhorn. After a painful and dramatic split with Pauline, Hemingway and Martha married and bought a home together just outside Havana.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Evan.
Cheers, I guess.
A madcap war. For Hemingway, the Second World War was a little more colorful than the first. He first approached Cuba's U.S. ambassador and offered to set up a spy network to monitor Nazi sympathizers on the island. His team of undercover operatives included waiters, fishermen, prostitutes, aristocrats, and priests. Hemingway then requested a supply of bazookas, hand grenades, machine guns, and radio equipment from the embassy, all with the intention of using his fishing boat to hunt German submarines in the Caribbean. Hemingway and his Rough Riders never quite managed to sink a U-boat, however, and Martha Gellhorn considered the enterprise no more than an excuse for Hemingway and his pals to waste fuel and go drinking.
Not a bad way to start the day, huh?
Hemingway finally topped it all when he liberated the bar of the Paris Ritz, days after the Germans had already left, by showing up with a jeep and a machine gun, demanding entry, and racking up a tab for 51 dry martinis. The Nobel Prize. Having divorced Martha during World War II, Hemingway returned to Cuba to live with his latest wife, Mary. In 1954, he received literature's highest honor, the Nobel Prize. According to the New York Times, he was granted the prize for his powerful, style-forming mastery of the art of modern narration, as most recently evinced in The Old Man and the Sea. 6 years later, Hemingway and Mary left Cuba and moved to Idaho. His last days. The 1960s saw Hemingway endure a steep decline in both his physical and mental health. Eventually, he checked into the Mayo Clinic in order to receive electroshock therapy for his growing paranoia and anxiety, but it didn't help. Despite further treatment at the clinic, Hemingway's suicidal tendencies worsened considerably, and on July 2, 1961, Hemingway shot himself with his favorite shotgun. At the time of his death, Hemingway had published 7 novels, married 4 women, fought in 3 wars, and survived 2 plane crashes. He was buried in Ketchum, Idaho, but his legacy as a man whose life was larger and stranger than the fiction he wrote has lived on for years afterward. Here's to you, Papa.
Amazing, isn't it? Yeah, he lived a full life. Yeah, that's incredible. He got married 7 times. Isn't it amazing, guys? But his books are really nice. They're really interesting. We try to close this. Okay, can you see the page again? Yes? Is it visible for you?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Was the audio okay, guys? Could you hear the video, the audio from the video? Was it okay?
Yes, it was okay.
Yes,
It was a good video,
okay.
Simone. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. So here in number 1, here in the first activity, we have, let me zoom in so you can see there. Read the text describing a famous person and answer the questions, sorry. So we know who this famous person is. It's Ernest Hemingway, right? So what did Ernest Hemingway look like? So we are going to read the text. I already highlighted here the characteristics, but I will give you some time to read the text and then use the words to complete the answers, okay? The questions are, what did he look like? And then find examples in the text that support these adjectives to describe his character. First, active. He was an active person, and hardworking, that he was a hardworking man. All right, so I will give you a minute to read the text, and then we will answer the questions, okay? Can everybody see the text? Is it visible? Yes?
Yes, it's busy.
Okay, okay, good. All right, so let me give you a minute to read the text. Okay, great. You can do it. Okay, guys. So let's say, what did Ernest Hemingway look like?
He was 6 feet tall, very strong, and had a full black beard.
Excellent. Of course, here in the picture, it doesn't show because this picture was taken when he was younger, right? But in his late years, this is what he looked like. He was very strong, like in the video, right? He was very strong. He was big, right? He was a big man, well built. And he had a full black beard, right? Actually, the beard grew white with time, right? But that's what he looked like. Good. Now, in number 2, we should find examples in the text that support these adjectives. So, why can we say that he was an active man?
Because he traveled a lot. He was
Perfect.
always on the move.
Yes, according to the text, yes, that was the example, right? But as we saw in the video, he was always doing something new, right? He got married 7 times, for God's sake. So he was very active, right? He was a very active man. Hardworking.
Yes.
So which example from the text do we have to support the idea of a hardworking man?
Because he never stopped writing.
Even when it appeared.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So he was always producing. So he was an avid writer. He wrote a lot of books, right? So he was hardworking. Very good, awesome. So now moving on to here, to number 3, we are going to listen to Nicola tell a story about her aunt. Which of these character adjectives do you think the story shows best? Okay, so let's take a look. Here we have the adjectives adventurous, hardworking, thoughtful, easygoing, honest, and determined. Let's take a look.
Last year it was my graduation. She took me to an Italian restaurant for lunch, and I thought it would be just the 2 of us. But when we arrived, the server took us to this huge table with balloons and everything. It went all down one side of the restaurant. I thought it must be a mistake, and the table was for someone else. But then suddenly all my friends appeared from around a corner. I guess they were hiding there, and they all shouted congratulations to me. It was a big surprise. My aunt had invited them all without telling me. 20 of them were there, plus the 2 of us. We had a fantastic meal, and I got tons of presents. I'll never forget it.
All right, I'll play one more time, okay, so you can. So the question again is, which of these character adjectives do you think the story shows best? Okay.
Last year it was my graduation. She took me to an Italian restaurant for lunch, and I thought it would be just the 2 of us. But when we arrived, the server took us to this huge table with balloons and everything. It went all down one side of the restaurant. I thought it must be a mistake, and the table was for someone else. But then suddenly all my friends appeared from around a corner.
I guess they were hiding there, and they all shouted congratulations to me. It was a big surprise. My aunt had invited them all without telling me. 20 of them were there, plus the two of us. We had a fantastic meal, and I got tons of presents. I'll never forget it.
Okay, guys. So how nice, isn't it? A surprise party. So, which of these character adjectives do you think the story shows best?
Thoughtful.
Thoughtful, yeah, by all means. What else?
Honest, but I don't know. I'd go with determined.
Okay. I think if we click on a different one, it eliminates the other. So I guess there's only one possible answer. The moment I click here, look. Yes, so I guess there is only one option. So thoughtful is the best one. Let's check. Yes, that's the only one. Thoughtful. So what's the meaning of the word thoughtful? What do you understand by a thoughtful person?
A person that have a lot of thoughts.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just like a cute answer. A cute answer.
Yeah, yeah.
But is it like that or
yeah,
not? Not really.
No.
Not really, right? Yeah, I thought so.
No. So a
I
thoughtful
really
person.
have no idea. Thoughtful.
No. Who knows?
Someone who doesn't think only about herself.
So. Because that would be unselfish or generous, right? A thoughtful person is a person who has this worry or this care of doing something for another person for the sake of making the other person happy. You know, like when you throw a surprise party for someone you like, a friend or a family member, that is thoughtful. It shows that you consider that person, right? Because you have to take care of a lot of details. You have to think, what is his or her favorite color? What does she like? Oh, she doesn't like chocolate. She likes strawberry. So let's make a strawberry cake. And then you think of all the good things because you want to make that person happy. So this is thoughtful, okay? It's when you try to do everything possible to make the other person happy, because this is really what matters to you. Okay, so this is thoughtful. All right? Okay, all right, people. So you can be thoughtful in many different situations, not only when you throw a party, but in everyday situations, okay? When you help, when you offer to do something because you know somebody may need something, so in many situations, okay? So here, this is how Nicola describes her aunt, okay, basically. All right, people. So let's take a look at this speaking tip here, describing people. You might need to describe somebody's appearance when you describe someone, right? You might need to describe the person's appearance to someone who hasn't met them. Physically or physical descriptions of height, hair, eye, color, body size, and clothing they often wear are obvious starting points. Sometimes, guys, when you meet someone and you fall in love with this person, you usually talk about this person to a friend, usually your best friend, or to a family member you trust. And then your best friend or your family member wants to know about this person, and this question will come up. Oh, what does she look like? Or what does he look like? Isn't it, people? Because they don't know each other yet. They haven't met. Everything is new. Then you will describe the person. And this characteristic, this physical description will come up, and then usually you will give basic descriptions, right? You never go really deep here, but you give the most important characteristics. So you say, oh, she's tall and has short dark hair, or he's tall and has short blonde hair, or anyway, you give your best so that the other person can visualize who you're talking about, okay? Now, personality and behavior descriptions are also useful when you want to give more detail about that person. For example, if someone wants to know how well they might get along with them, this is something really important to know. It's like, for example, what is he like? Is he friendly? Is he shy? Is he talkative? Oh, is he really shy? Ooh. So personality is really important to know before you meet someone, especially when you are talking about someone who means a lot to you, and you are describing that someone to a person you really like, your best friend or a member of your family. Okay, so here we have an example. Can you read the example, please, Mateus, here in the box?
He's very kind and thoughtful, but a bit too serious at times.
All right, thank you. Okay, now telling a story about the person really brings them to life. So besides describing the person physically and about the personality, we usually tell a story about the person, okay? So this gives a concrete example of what the person is like, all right? It helps the listener to get a full picture of the person's character. It helps a lot, not only describing, but also giving an example, okay? All right, people, so here we have the example of Nicole, and she described her aunt by giving an example of her surprise birthday party, okay? So here we have the box, and here we have the picture of those two people involved in the story. So the relationship, we have Shirley, her name, right? So who is Shirley? She is Nicola's aunt, right? Good. Appearance, tall, thin, with, here according to the example, short, dark hair. Okay. So let's see here. Probably there will be more things about her. Yeah, let's listen to her describing her aunt. Probably this is a different track. I will play so you can complete that box, okay? Let's see if she's really talking about her aunt. Okay, let's check it out. Just a second. Let's listen.
Well, someone who's very important to me is my Aunt Shirley. She's tall, about the same height as me, thin, and she has short dark hair. She's very generous. For example, she sends me money to buy books for college. Oh, and she's really funny too. She's always telling jokes. I laugh so much when we're together.
Okay, listen one more time, okay? Let's see.
Well, someone who's very important to me is my Aunt Shirley. She's tall, about the same height as me, thin, and she has short dark hair. She's very generous. For example, she sends me money to buy books for college. Oh, and she's really funny too. She's always telling jokes. I laugh so much when we're together.
All right, so let's complete now. So Shirley is Nicholas' aunt. Okay, guys. Good, awesome. She's tall, thin, with short, dark hair. Okay, now character.
Generous.
Very good. Then she gives an example, right? She's very generous. For example, she sends me money to buy books for college. Okay. Then we put there. All right, so we put there, buy books for college. Let me put here. Okay, guys, good. Now here, and she is really funny too. Then after saying that the person is funny, she gives an example. Why funny? She's always telling jokes, okay? So when we are talking about someone that the other person doesn't know, it's always good not only to say, oh, he's really funny, and then you stop. Oh, really? Funny? Why? You know, you should say why. It's natural to compliment. It's always natural to say, oh, he's really funny. He tells jokes all the time, or he does this, or he does that. It's always important to complete, okay? To say why the person is this or that. Okay, guys. So in this case here, she says her aunt is really funny. She's always telling jokes. Okay. So let's check the answers there. All right. Everything good. This, guys, is really interesting because it makes us sound more fluent when we speak. Okay. All right, people. So, question here. Have you ever helped to organize a party for a friend, a relative, or even a colleague at work? I bet you have. So, when was the party? What have you done? How was it? Or has anyone ever organized a surprise party for you?
I did organize a surprise party to my mom. It was in
nice.
July. July
Oh,
15, I think, yeah. Yeah, July 15. I don't remember my mom's birthday, yeah. But yeah, it was okay. Me and my brothers, we bought a cake, did some stuff, and that was it.
how nice. And I bet she was really happy.
Yeah, she was kind
Oh,
of, she's not like the person that you usually surprise. She's always like expecting for something. But
mhm.
she was kind of surprised. At least she
Uh,
pretends to be. But yeah, it was okay. It was nice.
oh, that's so cool. It's very good when we can put up something like that and make the other person happy. It's so cool to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good. I think once or twice, I think once, yeah, once I had a surprise party at a Chief. It was really nice. Yeah, that was really cool. I also had a surprise party here at home too. Yeah, it was during the pandemic. I remember last year. Yeah, my family did it. I wasn't expecting for that at all because we were all isolated. Like we weren't going anywhere. And then suddenly they came here and I was like, what are you doing? But not many people, just my immediate family, my mother, my sister, and she brought a cake and I was like, crazy, what are you doing? Because it was in the middle of the pandemic, like 2020, last year. And we were really isolated. We were in the quarantine and the cake was a quarantine cake. And it was so, so cool. That was a big surprise party. It was very nice. But only us, only the family, really. I loved it. It's amazing. It's really cool. So perfect. Very nice, guys. So here in number 5, think of some important people in your life. They could be friends, family members, a teacher, or even a famous person you admire. Make a list. So here, then choose one person from your list and make notes of their appearance and character. Give examples to support any character adjectives that you use. Of course, guys, this is for us to practice what we did here in the box, okay? So, for example, here we have an important person in my life. So you're going to put whoever you choose, okay? Then relationship to you. What is the relationship to you? Mother, sister, best friend, teacher, appearance. Then you put just basic characteristics. And then you put 2 adjectives to describe the character. And then you give 2 examples. All right, let's try to do this quickly. I'll give you, let's say, 3 minutes to try and complete this, and then we share. I'll try to do the same here, okay? Let's see how we can do this. All right. If you want, you can check out this exercise here, which is very similar. Okay, let's try to do it. Go ahead, guys. I'll time you for that. 3 minutes. Okay, guys, that's correct. So who would like to read the example you have there?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
Important person, Anna. Relationship, she's my mom.
Okay.
Appearance, beauty and height, brown eyes and straight, short hair. The character, I didn't really understand Simone. Character would be like people similar to her. Sorry.
No, character is the same as personality.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So here we have in the box, look, here in the box, let me highlight for you. Here we have personality, okay, characteristics.
Okay. I can do it. I can tell you now. Okay.
Kind, thoughtful, okay? Some examples. So personality and behavior, they fall in the category of character, okay? Funny, hardworking, all right?
So example one, character one, I'd say honest. Sometimes she's gonna say something you don't like. I mean, she's not gonna be rude, but she's gonna be like very straight to you.
Straightforward.
She doesn't like take around to say something. If she wants to say something that bothers her, she's gonna say. She's gonna say it. And two, shy. I mean, if she doesn't know a person, she's gonna be quiet on her place, in her place. But if you talk to her, she's gonna be nice and everything. But at first, she's always shy.
Okay.
So that's it.
All right, perfect.
Was it good? Was it good?
Yes, it was. It was. Yes, you said the quality, the characteristic, and then you gave an example. Yes, that's good. Yeah, there were some interferences of L1. L1 is Portuguese, right? When I say L1 is because there were some interferences of Portuguese in your speech. You try to translate from Portuguese to English, but that's okay. It happens sometimes. With time, you will find the right words to say. Okay, Mateus? When you said, for example, that your mother is shy, but she is easygoing when she's among friends, she, gets more comfortable and she talks more to people. But when she's not among friends, she keeps quiet and more reserved, right? So, but you used other words that are similar to Portuguese, okay? Because there is a lot of interference in your speech. I have the feedback to your project, by the way. You just remind me now. I have the feedback ready to give you from your project presentation, and I have to send it over to you. I have for all of you here, actually. So I will send it over to you later today after class. In this feedback, this feedback is nice because then you can evaluate how you are speaking and you can try to work on your weaknesses. It's really interesting. And I wrote a little bit about each one of you. Okay, guys. But it was nice. You did everything. Yes, you gave an example, you gave a quality, a character, and you gave an example. Okay. Very good. Does anybody else want to share?
Yeah, wait.
Yes, go ahead, Jose Guilherme.
An important person in my life, Rebecca. Relationship to you, sister.
Okay.
Appearance. White like a
Appearance.
paper, voluminous hair.
Sorry, can you
Character.
repeat? Can you repeat, please? I couldn't understand the appearance.
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 White like a paper, voluminous hair.
Oh, okay. All right. As light as a paper. You want to say that she's really thin. Okay, like really skinny. All right. So as light as a paper, or as light as paper, because paper is uncountable.
White like a paper.
Oh, white as paper. Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right. So let's change that. Okay. So let's change that. Let's put like this.
Got a character.
Okay.
Always ask me to do something for her. And smart.
Sorry, can you say the first character? Can you say the first character again?
Irritante. Always ask me to do something for her. Eu vou escrever aqui no chat.
Okay. I couldn't understand the first character.
Deixa eu ver aqui. Aqui. Pronto, veio.
Okay, let me. All right. Oh, irritating. Okay. Irritating. Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Now I'm just writing his examples, people, because I want to help him on the spelling and also with vocabulary. Okay, guys, that's why I'm writing his examples. So irritating. Now, please, can you repeat the example?
Always ask me to do something for her.
Okay, thank you. And which one is the second character?
Smart. Example, learn fast.
Okay, all right. Okay, this one is easy. All right, thank you, very good. So you said two qualities, you gave two examples of character, and you gave examples of things that she really does, right? And you described her appearance, okay? But here, I have just a small observation here. There is another expression that we use when someone is white, okay? Like that. We don't use exactly those words to say as white as paper, okay? We usually say as white as candle or as pale as paper, not really as white as paper, okay? So we use other words, but if you say, oh, she's as white as paper, they understand. It's okay, they understand, but it's usually in a situation of extreme fear or horror. If something like that happens, like, oh my God, what's going on? You're as white as paper. Of course, we understand why the person is white, but it's not because it's the natural tone of the skin that the person is white, okay? But I understand what you mean, okay? You can communicate. your idea. All right. Even though it's again another interference of L1, but it's okay. I understand what you mean. Okay. All right. Let me clear my drawings. But guys, amazing. Here, as we move on, we have an invitation to write, of course. Okay, guys. Here, they want us to think of a story about this person, take some notes, and write more about it. Of course, this is not a writing assignment by itself, but if you want, you can write, okay? And then you can later on tell the story to your partner. So I will leave it up to you. If you want to write about this person, if you want to expand a little bit more, it's up to you. Okay, guys. I want to move on to the review page as we come to the end of the unit. Let's take a look at the points that we've discussed in Unit 11. So let's go there. Page 157. Let's take a look. And then we can start the new unit. Yay, Unit 12, guys, next week. What do you think? Isn't it good? How nice. So let's take a look there before we go. Can you all see that, people? If you have your books, this is page 157, okay? Okay, you there? So the first activity here, vocabulary, you have there, number 1. What was the vocabulary focus of Unit 11? Choose the correct particles to complete the sentences. So let's see there. As you notice, we have some phrasal verbs, okay? So let's see. There are lots of movies about people coming to their hometowns. Which one is the best particle, guys, to complete this verb? Lots of movies about people coming away, coming back. Yeah, coming back to their hometowns. Yes, it makes more sense, right? Okay, now try to do the same with the other sentences. Numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we correct, okay? I'll give you 1 minute, because this is really fast. Okay. So let me just time you for that. Okay, you can start. There you go.
Okay.
All right. Okay, guys, time's up. So let's check. Number 2, guys, what do you have?
My great grandparents.
True.
Great. Lived through. Perfect. Number 3.
Back.
Yes. Number 4.
Through.
And number 5.
Away.
Okay, so let's correct. Perfect. Everything okay. Guys, do you understand the meaning of these phrasal verbs? Do you have any questions?
Not really. I'm okay.
Yes, are you all okay? Right? So here the first one, come back. Let's go back to the place of origin. Live through, it's when you go through difficult situations, right? You live through. Look back is literal, right? Work through, it's when you solve a problem, okay? And get away is the same as escape, okay? Now, how many collocations can you make? Before we do it, let me ask you, do you know what collocations are?
Collocation is when I don't know if we mix the words, but like, for example, opening scene. I don't know how to explain, but I know how to do it.
Yeah, a collocation is a pair of words that usually go together, right? A pair of words that usually go together. Words that usually go together, they occur together. So like you said, opening scene, or for example, welcome party. You know, these words, they usually occur together and they go well together. If we put a different word, they don't sound good. They sound strange. We go like, no, these words don't go together, right? So here we have some collocations, and let's try to put them together, okay? Like they usually do in real life, okay? So number 1, amusing. What do you think?
I'm using plot.
Good. So let's go.
You have to go on the show answers, I think.
Yeah, I was suspecting. I didn't want to do that, but then I'll have to go there. Oh yeah, but if I go to show answers, they will show.
No, yes, wait then. Go with the, try to draw on the, but it's not gonna be so good, right?
Yeah, I'll have to use the drawing tools. Yeah, I'll have to yeah, I'll try to draw here using the arrow maybe here. I'm using flat. Okay. Okay. All right. So then we don't have to use the tools to draw everything. Just one example will be good. So now, guys, try to do the same with the other words. Find their collocations. All right. So I think less than a minute, 30 seconds. Okay, guys. And then we correct. Go ahead. Okay, yes, can we correct, people? Let's say, what do you have for feel good? What is this? A feel good what?
Movie.
Yes, feel good movie. It's a kind of movie. Opening, open a scene, Real?
I'm gonna let people say. It's just me.
Okay, no problem. Real?
Vamos, Amanda, José.
Release.
No, no. Come on, guys, I'm waiting for you. Real?
Highlight.
Highlight. And recent?
Recent release.
Okay, thank you, guys. So let me clear my annotations because it will move with the page. And let's see the answers. Okie dokie. Okay, guys, look, I'm using plot, feel good movie, opening scene, real highlight, and recent release. Okay, guys, take notes. Okay, people, because this will be in your test. All right, can I close? Okie dokie. So now I will just invite you to please do the final part here, the grammar part for homework. Okay, guys, the grammar is exercises number 3. Let me zoom out so you can see better. Exercise number 3, where you should choose the relative pronoun who, which, or that, or sometimes no relative pronoun is necessary, okay? So, and then the next one here as well, it continues, right? So there are 5 options there actually, right? Oh no, here, sorry. Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, here, 5 gaps in number 3. In number 4, what do you have to do? You have to use the verbs in the box to complete the sentences in the past perfect. Remember, so we have there read, hear, lose, watch, and write. The past perfect is formed with the auxiliary verb had and the past participle of the main verb. The past participle of the main verb is the 3rd column of the verb list. Okay, guys? And remember that when you have the word not in parentheses, like here, in the first one, it's because the sentence is negative. Okay, guys? And then you have to get a verb from the box, put it in the negative form, okay? But don't forget, it's the past perfect, okay? Then you have 5 questions. And number 5, complete the story using the simple past and the past perfect of the verbs in parentheses. So here you have a mix, okay, guys? It can be either the simple past or the past perfect. All right, this is what you gotta do. So back to our page on Google Classroom here. Yes, this is our page. I put here some files about defining relative clauses, defining and non-defining. Something about interrupting conversations, right? Describing someone. And I put the homework for us to do here. online practice, Unit 11. Please, this Unit 11 here is all Unit 11 and Unit 11 test because we finished Unit 11 today. Okay, guys? Plus page 157, the review. Okay, guys? So please don't forget to do page 157. That will be very important. All right? So just for us to finish, let me take a picture before we go. Let me see if my gallery view is good. Oh, you look so colorful. I love your pictures. You look beautiful today. How nice, guys. So people, I hope to see you next week, and hopefully we will be able to use the other app, Google Meet. I'm dying to use that app. Hopefully it will work next week. Okay, guys, I will let you know, all right? If everything works, next week we will be using the new app, all right? God permits. So nice to see you today, guys. Have a nice weekend. And don't forget to do your homework, okay? All right, people. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you. See you. Bye-bye, people. Take care. Thank you. Thank you, Paulinha. Thank you, Giovanna. Thank you, Mateus, everybody. Bye-bye.